Hi everybody, it's crazy, it's Monday, and it's time for the UPBGE video of the week. Now if you made it through the eclipse, good, you get to watch my video. Remember to support autism, it's Autism Awareness Month, so if you know an autistic, show them some love and give some support. Okay, to my trusted, you guys rock. To my crazy fam, I love you guys. So let's get going. So last week we left off with page number 6 in the Game Engine book. If you don't know that, it's in the description. A lot of other stuff in the description. If you want to look into them, go to their Discord, go to their sites. Got them all in the description below. Had them since the beginning. But you can also, don't forget the files. You want to make sure you get the files. A lot of people have been forgetting the files. Okay, so we're on page number 6. And we left off with better handling of multiple objects. You know, last week we did a little bit about scripting talk, which is basically right here. You're going to put scripts in, and as you see, you're still going to use logic bricks, but you can use scripts to better enhance your logic bricks. Okay, that's the whole idea of this. All right, so let's get going. Big projects lead to multiple files. This is an inevitable truth. Even when you use external linking and libraries, it's crucial to optimize the time spent in changing multiple sets at once. This is one of the weaknesses of logic bricks. They make it hard to automatically change a big range of elements at the same time. If you need to change a property name or initial value of an object, you will need to repeat that change in other instances of the same. We have ways to make it easier by using copy and paste of logic bricks and properties between objects, or even through logic sharing. Nevertheless, you will still have to update all the property sensors, controllers, and actuators that may rely on the old value. That's especially true for objects with logic bricks across them, as we saw. Okay, the game engine allows you to link logic bricks from different objects. However, self-contained objects and logic bricks are easier to work with and with less spaghetti. Okay, if you thought that figure 7-1 was a mess, that was that one we showed you last week, and I'll switch back to here. Whoops, back to here real quick. You know, that's messy, ain't it? That's like way messy than that we really want. Okay, so here we have the logic bricks of Frankie plus the objects that have logic bricks connected to it. As you recall, you can restrict the visible logics through the show panel option, but this illustrates how difficult it is to get a global view of your system. Okay? Once you start to work with scripts, you will see how easy it is to assume control over all your scene elements in a global way. It will give you lots of benefits in the long run. And just to touch base on that, Game 3, my buddy Day has been working on that for years. He's been tinkering and having fun doing it, I guess, because he loves messing with it. But Game 3 utilizes logic bricks and scripting. Okay, he's got plenty of code that he uses to set up everything. And when he has to fix something, all he's got to do is go in there and change a line of code or two, instead of going through every single logic brick to try to fix one problem. You can have code that you can just go and fix a line or two. You know, and sometimes you got to fix a lot of lines, but it's easier to write or use, text than it is to go through every bit of your logic bricks, trace them all back to each one, and try to figure out where that goes. Okay, just a little touch base in there for all those people who hate scripting. Believe it or not, it does help when it comes to game logic. And one of these times I'm going to put on my video to show y'all a little bit of what I'm working on, and show you that I use Game 3 and how it works, and that's mostly code, folks. All right, so access to Blender's advanced features. Okay, now we're not going to go too far into it because, I don't want to get too high up on numbers here this week, because I want to go see that too, the eclipse and all that. So you will be happy to know that the game engine has a powerful set of features beyond those found in the Logic Bricks interface. Also, almost all the functionality found in the Logic Bricks can be accomplished through an equivalent method of the game engine API, which will be covered in the section using the game engine API, application programming interface. Okay? The API ranges from tasks that could be performed with Logic Bricks, such as to change a property in a sensor or to completely remove an object from the game, all the way to functionality not available otherwise, such as playing videos and network connection. We never forget the first patch. The ability to directly end an object from Python was introduced into Blender 2.47. That goes back a long ways. This is a good example of how convenient script methods can be. And here comes a bit of history. Back in August 2008, the project we were working on, which was Ocean's Viz, read more about it in the case studies in Chapter 10, required a huge amount of objects to dynamically pop up and die. The game engine simulation had critical performance issues and optimization was not a luxury there. At that point, we had reduced ending objects by having a simple property sensor that would trigger an edit object, end object actuator. So far, so good. However, one extra sensor running every frame for every single object in the scene was costing us some performance we could use elsewhere. We are talking about hundreds of objects here, okay, not just a couple. When blaming our software didn't help, it may eventually, it was time to get our hands dirty. After some hard work and some online help, we had our first patch version of Blender Game Engine working right in front of us. We didn't need those multiple sensors anymore because a simple myObjects.endObject quote. Okay, so that's, let me see if I can get it to go. Yeah, see this right here? myObjects.endObjects, and with the brackets around it. That will end all your objects. It ends them automatically. Okay, was doing the job now. Let me switch back over. There we go. Okay, was doing the job. Where is the champagne? to be allowed to extend our own version of Blender in that way was cool. To submit the patch and have it implemented in the core of Blender was memorable. There are a few reasons for not having all the methods accessible through Logic Bricks. First, the graphic interface is very limited for complex coding. You may end up with a slow system that is far from optimized. Second, having methods independent from the interface allows it to be expanded more easily and constantly from a development point of view. Some advanced features such as mirroring system, dynamic load of meshes, OpenGL calls, and custom constraints would hardly fit in the current Blender Game Engine interface. They would probably end up not being implemented because of the amount of extra work required. Other things you will find in the game engine built-in methods are make screenshots, change world settings, gravity, logic tick rates, access the returned data from sensors, press keys, mouse position, change object properties, camera lens, light colors, object mass, and many others we will cover in the course of this chapter. Okay, and let's see, what am I up to? Yeah, I'm about up to 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me switch over here so you can see where I'm at. Okay, I'm going to go end off with using features that are not part of Blender. Okay, we're just going to carry that on. It's going to be page 9. Let me switch back out of that. Okay, so using features that are not part of Blender. That's page number 9. Okay, in the Game Engine book. We'll continue that on next week and enjoy the eclipse. Have a good one, y'all.